Have you ever wondered what happens when a petty HOA pushes too far? What if your neighbor sent a fake cop to your front door with a loaded gun? And what if the person they targeted just happened to be a sitting US senator? This isn't a movie. It's not a conspiracy theory. It's what happened to us. At a quiet lake cabin we thought was safe, far from politics, far from trouble. But instead of peace, we got threats, sabotage, and a vigilante HOA president named Donna, who decided she was the law. She had no idea who she was messing with. And when the fake cop showed up, gun drawn, no badge, well, let's just say, her little HOA power trip triggered a federal investigation. Stay with me, because what you're about to hear is not just a story. It's a lesson in what happens when fake power meets real justice. Now let me take you back to the beginning. They say peace is priceless. Whoever said that never dealt with a homeowners association. Last summer, my brother and I escaped to our late grandfather's lake cabin for what we thought would be a quiet, off-the-grid reset. No meetings, no traffic, no politics, which is ironic because my brother is, in fact, a sitting US senator. But to our neighbors on Emerald Lake Drive, he was just the guy with the unapproved boat dock and an attitude problem. Within 3 days, a lady named Donna, president of the HOA and self-declared enforcer of moral order, was already issuing fines over the color of our porch chairs. By week 2, someone had slashed our tires. But the real madness started when a cop showed up at our cabin. Gun drawn, no badge, no cruiser. And he wasn't there to ask questions. He was there to make a statement. Now my brother, a man who chairs intelligence, briefings on Capitol Hill, was suddenly flat on the deck, staring down a gun barrel. And me? I was behind a window, phone in hand, heart in my throat, recording everything. Let me just say this. Donna had no idea who she was messing with. And the HOA? Oh, they were about to find out what it feels like when the law looks back. This is the story of how a petty neighborhood turf war escalated into a federal investigation, and how we turned a fake cop into a very real convict Emerald. Lake is the kind of place where time seems to slow down. The roads are gravel, the trees form a canopy over your head, and every other property has a tin mailbox that leans just slightly to the left. The cabin itself was my grandfather's pride. 2 stories, all wood, with a wraparound deck and a dock that reaches like a lazy finger into the water. We arrived in June, right after my brother finished a brutal congressional session. His name's Daniel. To the rest of the country, he's Senator Daniel Harlow. To me, he's still the guy who fell through our grandma's glass coffee table trying to catch a marshmallow in his mouth. No one at the lake knew who he was, and Daniel liked it that way. That changed the second Donna showed up with a clipboard. "Excuse me," she said, her tone syrupy with menace. "Are you aware that dock structures must be painted in earth tone shades only? That blue is a violation." "It's lake blue," Daniel said. "Matches the water." "It matches a fine," she snapped. We thought it was just a quirky neighbor. But then came the letters. Hand-delivered, highlighted, one even had a red stamp, violation notice. Week 2, Donna escalated. She cited us for the wrong kind of outdoor lighting. Then our trash bins were visible from the road. "There is no road," I pointed out. "That's not the point," Donna hissed. We laughed it off, until someone keyed Daniel's truck. Then another tire went flat. We installed cameras. They were gone the next day. A neighbor named Glenn warned us quietly. "Donna doesn't like people who don't play by her rules. She's got people." Daniel raised an eyebrow. "What kind of people?" Glenn shrugged. "People who wear vests with patches and pretend they have authority." That was just the beginning. It wasn't long before insane became the new normal. A notice was taped to our front door. "Unauthorized political presence on HOA property." "Is that even legal?" I asked. "Only if HOA stands for Hysterical Overreach Association," Daniel muttered. Then came the drone. Yes, an actual drone, buzzing over the dock at night, shining a spotlight on the water. It hovered long enough for us to wave before it zipped back over the tree line. The next day, Daniel's kayak was gone. We asked Donna. "We don't patrol the water," she said, smiling like a crocodile. Then a fake citation appeared on our windshield. "Operation Restore Order," signed by someone named Deputy Commander Knox. "That's not even a real title," I said. Daniel tapped the paper. "But the QR code leads to a Facebook group called Lake Guardians." The Lake Guardians were a local militia-style club, mostly ex-military wannabes and conspiracy theorists who believed in HOA justice. Turns out Donna was their treasurer. Things got worse. Glenn's dog went missing after he warned us. Our mail started disappearing. Someone even poured bleach into our flower beds. Donna held an emergency HOA meeting. We weren't invited. The next day, the dock had a bright red X painted on it. Then the cop arrived. No badge. Just boots, sunglasses, and a gun holstered way too tight. He demanded Daniel step outside. Claimed he was under investigation for impersonating a public official. The irony nearly broke me. I stayed behind a curtain, recording. Daniel played dumb. Senator? No, I'm just a guy with a sunburn and a cold beer. The guy raised his weapon. And that's when it clicked. This wasn't just HOA drama anymore. This was criminal. Daniel lowered himself to the deck. Calm, composed. I called a number. Only 6 people in the country have. Let's just say, help was already on the way. Daniel never raised his voice. He never pulled rank. But once that fake cop left, after failing to detain anyone and storming off, when Daniel asked for a warrant, he sat me down. We're going to handle this the right way, he said. Let's make it federal. Over the next 2 days, Daniel contacted a few friends, FBI, DOJ, state police. Meanwhile, I built a dossier, screenshots, drone footage, falsified tickets, threats from the Lake Guardians Facebook group, even Donna's tax records. Turns out the HOA had been funneling funds into a community defense fund. Translation? Paying fake cops. We installed new security cameras. Hidden this time. Got the license plate of the fake cop. Got audio of Donna saying, "If they don't leave, we'll make them." Then Daniel filed a formal ethics complaint. Against himself. Why? To trigger a paper trail. By week's end, we set the bait. We hosted a BBQ. Invited Glenn, a few other quiet allies. And yes, even Donna, who showed up with her clipboard and attitude. Daniel stood on the dock and gave a speech. Some people think power comes from titles, he said. But real power comes from truth. Just as he finished, 3 unmarked SUVs rolled in. Feds. The fake cop was arrested that night. Weapons charges, impersonation. Donna, subpoenaed. And the Lake Guardians? Let's just say Facebook got very quiet. The news broke 2 days later. Local HOA linked to militia group and federal crimes. It went viral overnight. Turns out, the story of a senator being targeted by a vigilante HOA was just the kind of dystopian Americana the internet craves. Neighbors who once avoided us suddenly waved. Glenn brought us pie. The best part? The footage. The moment when the fake cop realized he was being recorded. When the agent stepped out, badges in hand. When Donna tried to hide behind a potted fern. "I have rights," she screamed. "You sure do," said Agent Ross. "And you're about to hear them." Donna was charged with conspiracy to commit assault, misuse of HOA funds, and aiding impersonation of an officer. The HOA board dissolved within a week. Turns out half of them didn't know about the Lake Guardians. Daniel testified in court via Zoom. When the judge asked why he didn't mention his political status sooner, Daniel just smiled. "Because I wanted to see how far they'd go." The courtroom laughed. The fake cop took a plea deal. 6 years. Donna? Still pending, but let's just say her lake privileges have been revoked. We rebuilt the dock, painted it blue again. Real blue, senator blue. And Daniel? He added a photo of Donna's clipboard to his office wall, right next to the Constitution. They say all politics is local. Turns out so is justice. We went to that cabin to get away from the madness. But sometimes madness finds you, even in the form of a woman named Donna with a clipboard and a god complex. What did I learn? Never underestimate quiet power, and never bring a fake badge to a real senator's cabin. Also, record everything. Today the cabin's peaceful again. The trees are still whispering. The lake's still blue, and Donna's nowhere in sight. If you've ever dealt with an HOA nightmare, you're not alone. Drop a comment and tell me your craziest neighborhood horror story. Or just type "justice served" if you made it to the end. Because sometimes justice doesn't knock. Sometimes it shows up in an unmarked SUV. And sometimes it starts with a barbecue, a dock painted the wrong shade of blue, and ends with a lesson that Donna'll never forget. Subscribe for more real stories that feel like movies. I'll see you on the next one. And hey, Donna, hope you enjoy the view from the other side of the lake.